CMUEagles.com with Central Methodist head men's basketball coach Jeff Sherman as the Eagles prepare to host Baker on Saturday for a 4 p.m. Central Time tip-off inside Puckett Fieldhouse. Coach, your team has hit a little bit of a schneid lately, but you welcome a Baker to Fayette that has lost 8 straight. So how is your team prepare for Saturday, hoping to end a brief losing streak?
Well, first of all, I'm about as worried about playing Baker as I would be at Benedictine the next week. Benedictine's probably on a 9 or 10 game winning streak. Baker's not quite that bad on the losing streak, but they're playing as well as anybody in the conference. They're just not finding ways to win ball games. The scary part is in preparation, when you start to think that they're not as good as the other teams in the league, that's when you start to get teams on a roll. They start getting some confidence. So Baker's got a good team. They're very well coached. They're down to Mid-American Nazarene 1 last night. Had about 3 or 4 possessions where it just didn't go their way. And ultimately Mid-America got on a roll. That's a big rival game, much like ours was last night with Missouri Valley. The tough part about us going on our 2-game losing skid right now is, one, we went off probably the longest road trip and one of the toughest places to play at Peru. Following that with, in my 30 years I've been at Central Methodist, I've never seen a crowd at Missouri Valley like they had last night. Excellent small college atmosphere. You know, they call it the Orange Hush. They just basically packed the place. And I was very pleased with the way our players handled, stayed focused, composed. We came out and led by as many as 12 points the first half. One of the best performances we actually had. However, Missouri Valley's got the team that they have this year. They're a solid 3rd place, 1 game out of 2nd, 2 games out of 1st right now, and they were a very good ball team the second half. I think we led pretty much up until about the last 5 minutes, and at that point right there, they kind of jumped out on us, and we missed a couple free throws, turned the ball over a couple times. But in looking over the game now, you know, we didn't play that bad. At this point of the year, they're just a better team. We have to get back. You know, we have to have a good game Saturday. We had a good discussion with the ball team afterwards. We still feel good about where we're at. But doggone it, you don't like to lose any games. But we've had 2 very tough road games, and we've come on the short end of the stick. But our guys are battling. They're playing hard. No excuses. You know, we know we're shorthanded, but we're battling. We'll find ways to compete, and ultimately we have to make better decisions down the stretch.
As mentioned earlier, Baker has lost a conference high 8 straight games overall. Do you think that gives them any extra motivation, knowing that your team has struggled just in the last couple of games?
Well, you know, again, I don't know what Baker's thinking. They've got 2 players that concern me a little bit. You know, Carter, who's been there now for a couple of years, been an all-conference player, and then Gray that runs the point. Their averages, their numbers are very good. The thing that's concerned us a couple of times, a couple of their losses, they didn't have Gray playing. As far as we know, everybody's playing tomorrow. I'm impressed with the team that'll come out and play hard and not still come out on top. And to me, it amazes me, and I respect it 100%, that teams that come out and battle, they know they're at the bottom of the conference. But you know, all it takes is 1 week, get 2 more wins, all of a sudden they're at 6 or 7. And so we have too many games left in the conference, and they know they're a good team. We only won by, I believe, a possession down at their place. It could have gone either way. So I'm anticipating Baker coming in guns loaded. I don't think they're concerned as much. I know they're not happy where they're at. We're not happy where we're at. You know, middle of the pack of the conference. It's a safe spot right now, but we're not happy with that. We want to go higher, but it's going to take a lot of work. Our league is just very unforgiving, and Baker's got a very good team, though they do have some shortcomings. And one is, you have to learn how to win. I think that last night, the last minute, I thought that hurt us a little bit. The combinations of players we had, the decisions we made, were not the decisions you do to win ball games. Baker's doing the same thing. So we got to come out and give it our best effort and hopefully keep them in a position where they're not doing the things that they have to do. And we need to improve on, one, controlling the boards. We know that's something we have to do. We have to take care of the ball. And every day we keep saying we have to play harder, we have to play smarter, and we have to play together. And you have to get all three of those happening on the same night.
With E.J. Carter leading Baker and scoring at a little more than 11 points per game, how has his game changed and improved throughout the course of this season?
Well, I think he's getting frustrated too. Your good players want to win, you know, and I think at times you tend to, when things aren't going as well, you tend to do too much. I think if he's able to do just the things that he's capable of, he's one of the best players in the league. If he feels he has to do more to allow them to have more success, I think we can contain that. And I think that's a good lesson for all players, a lot of our players. I think if we tend to try to do more than what we're capable of, you actually ultimately hurt your team. He's a good player if everybody else on their team does their role. In fact, he's a phenomenal player. And so you can control that from teams. You try to get them off balance. You try to take them away from doing the things that they want to do. Ultimately, that's what we want to do. That's what they want to do with us. We're looking for a good contest tomorrow. Again, it's a game to get us back in the swing and try to keep us in the top four. Ultimately, right now, we're shooting for a home court. I think we're out of the conference title race. We know mathematically we're still in it, but you have to wait for a bunch of teams to control things. We can't do anything about that. So what we can control is finishing in the top 3 or 4 for the main part of hosting a home playoff game. And there's 3 other teams on top of that that are with us, that are in the same boat. So we must take every game as if it makes the difference. And Saturday is going to be a big game.
With Mitch Farr struggling early in the season to find his shot, how do you think his game has evolved throughout the course of the season and opened up the floor for other players?
Well, from my standpoint, I think he still is struggling. I think this has not been a good year for Mitch. You know, he's shooting 38%. I don't think it's good. Now, Mitch is a good ball player. And I think he does so many more things for us this year than last year, other than shooting. But he's only shooting 38%, and he's taking the most shots on our team and leading us in scoring. Now you compare that to another team that has a player shooting 53%, taking the most shots on the team, and you can see how much easier it is for that team to have success. I think it means that we're doing a lot of grinding games out. We're having to really get down and get dirty to find ways to win ball games. We're not shooting the ball as well as we have in recent years. We're not a big team, but you can't leave him open. I think everybody knows that. He's still one of the best three-point shooters in our conference and in the country. But unfortunately, teams know that. They're guarding him. We have to have other players step up and do things and make right decisions. But I think ultimately we have a good enough team to still make a run. There's just no question. We just have to do the things within our abilities. And again, everyone accepts their roles and take pride in that. And I think right now we're still learning that process.